All right, how's it going? Um, I was watching. I was watching a video by shoot, what's her name? Like Eris, I don't know. It was a girl, and she was talking about like brain rot. Like it was one of previous videos. Like it was like literally, I think a day before this video comes out. But I'm gonna upload this like as soon as I'm done. But she was talking about brain rot, and I kind of wanted to make a video regarding social media, okay? Because the thing is, I deleted social media, for a while now. I haven't had TikTok, I haven't had Instagram. Like all my accounts are deleted. Like like the only social media I really have is like Facebook, but I only need Facebook to be on Facebook Marketplace and for Messenger because my family's on Messenger. YouTube because you gotta watch. I think YouTube is like one of the biggest exceptions. I think it's the only exception when it comes to like deleting social media, unless you're like doom scrolling on the reels. Then that's different. But I don't really doom. I don't really scroll on the reels. But see, the thing is that about social media is that it's good. you know, like the kick that you get from it. Oh, dude, social media feels amazing because cause it's so funny. Everyone's so funny. You get that connection. Like people have inside jokes, and all these like, boomers don't even get it. Like people are keep asking me like, "What's the 6-7 joke?" or, etc. Like a bunch of jokes that you find like on TikTok, right? And then the thing is, like, when you look at the comments and you see how funny people are, and because you get the jokes, right? Like, if you ask anyone else who's not really on social media, I highly doubt they're gonna understand the jokes. But the thing is, when you're on it, dude, it feels like you feel connected. You feel like, oh my, like it feels like being part of an inside joke, right? And like when you're on it, it feels very very good, especially when on a lonely like level. It feels less lonely when you go through the comments or you just look at the videos and you get it. You can relate to these types of videos and they're funny and you feel good. And then you keep going and going and going and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and then you become addicted, and that's when it becomes an issue, right? Social media is one of, I mean, honestly, everything in life should have some balance because, of course, a too much of a good thing can be led as a bad thing. Like bodybuilding, bodybuilding can be bad too. Uh, for example, um, not taking any rest days. Okay, like let's say you're addicted to lifting, or you're addicted to the pump. Okay, one, it can cause injuries. You can get injured. Like if you're sore, your body's not, body's aching, and yet you still want to make it to the gym. Of course, that's going to be bad. Okay, that's too much training. That's too much working out. You need to rest. Two, can be a mental problem because sometimes I'm realizing that I get body dysmorphia. I go to the gym, look at my physique. Yeah, this physique sucks. Like I don't feel good unless I'm in the gym. I mean, hold on. Yeah, when I go to the gym, I feel good. When I'm outside of the gym, I feel bad. So when I'm going to when I pose, when I look at myself in the mirror, I feel jacked because of that pump. But then you leave, you go outside anywhere else, and you feel like garbage. You feel like your physique sucks. You feel small. You feel fat. Whatever. You don't feel good about yourself, and that's when going to the gym, like, it's not balanced. Same thing with a hobby. You're spending too much time in your car. Literally spending too much time on one thing is bad. Okay, like spending too much time on one thing is bad. Same thing with social media. If you spend too much time on social media, it's going to be bad. Uh, but the thing is that social media. It's very hard to call it bad It only gets bad to a certain point, and you don't know where that certain point really is because it varies depending on person to person. It took me a while for me to realize it. I started to realize that it made me even more lonely. Even though I kept saying like you found connections, you found relatability, you felt lonely when you're not on it. Because the thing is, it was so accessible. Okay, so if I felt lonely, I'll just go on TikTok and I'm not lonely anymore. It was that easy. I would just stop being lonely when I step on TikTok. But then you start, that's why it was really hard because it was easily accessible. You could just go on your phone and boom, you feel so much better. And then I realized that with my life, I just wasn't happy. And I didn't realize that I wasn't happy with my personal life. It took me a while. So I deleted social media, deleted the accounts. So I wouldn't be. I would literally have to make a new account. I deleted the apps. I literally haven't been doom scroll. I mean, the only thing that I go on like scroll like literally is like Pinterest. But those are I only use those as ideas. Be like, I want my life to look like this, and I'm gonna work hard to look like this, right? So I think that type of media is completely different than stuff that you see on TikTok and whatnot, Instagram. But it's very hard because truthfully nobody will leave social media. No one will stop brain rotting, and that's the thing that's kind of hard because nobody actually wants to. Like nobody will ever change unless they actually want to change. People don't see social media as a problem, and even brain rotting, even though they are aware of that addiction, people are gonna be like, "Man, it's not a big of a deal." And that's the thing that people don't like. TikTok is growing. TikTok is going to keep on growing. Social media is going to keep on growing. Social media as a platform, AI, all these technological things, it's going to get more and more people interacting with these apps, social media. Because it's amazing. It's amazing. AI is amazing. Like in economics, you do AI. You can do AI research, right? Like you can. Okay, I don't know. I think okay. I don't know if this is actually accurate, but social media, you're able. I mean, AI, you're able to ask it like, hey, like if I implemented this policy in a certain economy, what can you predict will happen? Stuff like that. A, so I mean, okay, that's not entirely like what economists actually use AI for, but that's just like one idea. But the thing is, like social media, AI, all of these things, they are so good. They're they are amazing. They it's just that simple. They are simply amazing. And that's why, because of how good it is, people are like, we're not gonna get out of it. Look at a bunch of streamers, like I highly doubt that one day any of these streamers who are on the top like 0.00001%, these people are not gonna leave social media because they make so much money out of it, the fame, like all of these things. It's very hard because it feels so good being in it. And you see like, oh, there's no effects. I don't want to change. There's nothing wrong with whatever I'm doing now. And there's billions of people who are like that. I don't see a problem with this. It's the same thing as cheating. Cheating on your partner. Okay? People are not going to change. Okay? I mean, some people who cheat and some people who don't cheat. Okay? But we're going to talk about the people who do cheat. those people, they're not gonna want to change, okay? Because it feels too good, okay? They don't really change. People don't change unless they want to. And at a certain point in their life, if you don't want to change, you never really will. That's kind of the issue. Is that people don't have any incentives to be better. And I'm not saying in terms of being better in a societal perspective. I'm talking about being better in a spiritual, personal level. There's no point. Because truth, I won't be honest with you. I don't see a point either. I deleted social media. I've been working out. I've been trying to heal my inner self, heal my inner soul. And honestly, it's pretty overrated. I'm bored half the time. Not even half the time. Bored 70% of the time. Well, I mean, besides when I'm not, like, I'm bored doing homework. Like, I'm busy. I'm always doing stuff regardless of that. I'm going to the gym. All these, like, I'm always busy. But at the same time, when you're busy with something, sometimes you could still feel bored. Like, you're bored driving sometimes. You're bored, going to the gym. You're bored going to school, working. You're bored working. You're bored sleeping, resting, whatever. Bored cooking. Like, you can still be bored by doing something. So, to people, there's just simply no incentive to be better internally. While no one is watching, while nobody is looking, like if you are alone right now with nothing, no phone, no device, no car, no hobbies, literally nothing. You're just in a white room, nothing in it. What do you have? You have to ask yourself, what do you have if you have nothing? Okay. And talking about like materialistic, what do you have without when you don't have a car? What do you have when you don't have the gym? What do you have when you don't have a PC, a monitor, a chair, keyboard, social media, friends, people around you, stores? What do you have? And quite frankly, it's pretty easy because it is an open-ended question, but like a basic answer was that you are nothing. But someone with a deep personal connection, I'm kind, resilient, I'm caring. But all these things are not. I say these things not trying to call myself, oh, I'm a caring, a kind person, because it's very hard for me to like literally associate those terms with me, associate myself with those terms, because that's another story. Something you just don't believe it, but I try to be, okay. So when I'm in, okay, I'm just going off like a rant. I'm probably just talking a bunch of nonsense, truly. But it's just I highly doubt that people are going to want to leave social media. And social media is here and it's staying. Same way with AI. Like these things have been embedded into society. It sounded very cringy for too long, and it's been too impactful. It's like fast food, right? Or not, maybe not even fast food. Maybe like for me, it's the gym. I don't think I can live without the gym. I don't think I can live without a car or a PC or a keyboard or music. Music is a good one actually. You can't live without music. To some people, it's social media. They can't live without social media, and people don't want to live without social media. And that's the problem because there just there truly is no incentive for anybody to quit a lot of things because they don't really want to. It's like asking a person who's addicted to drugs. who don't really want to quit. They don't want to quit. Well, obviously some people do, and those are the outliers. But the average person who's addicted to drugs, they don't want to quit. Okay, people can say yes they do, and it's not easy quitting. Of course, it's not easy, but you have to understand that there's a tug of war. Okay, there's a tug of war. People who want to quit and people who's like, I'd rather keep doing this more. Okay, that's why it's it's hard. But the thing is that you have a choice to either stay in it or leave, and you need a big enough reason to leave. So the same thing with social media. People can see a problem with brain rot. People can see a problem with social media, but it's not big enough to leave it because they you know you have the problems here, and then you just have the satisfaction of social media. So this one weighs a lot more. Like it's a tug of war, right? Like, would you want to leave social media, or are you staying in it? You know, like your reason to leave social media has to be much bigger, and quite frankly, nobody, because I don't blame them. That's the issue. Is that there's not a big enough reason to actually leave social media for each individual. I mean, collectively it becomes an issue. But from me to you, it's like, why do I have to leave social media? Right? Like, just because it gives you a problem, I don't want to see a problem. And everyone's like that. It's just hard because you need a reason to change. I mean, change happens naturally in a way. I mean, there's a lot of nuance regarding change in a person. Some people change, some people don't change. But there's a lot of nuance. Okay, change happens, change doesn't happen. But either way, what I'm trying to say is that sometimes, the normal person, the average person doesn't want to change when it comes to social media. They don't really want to leave social media. And I know I keep repeating it because I'm trying to emphasize it. Because for me, okay, if I didn't, because you start to realize, you social media is really good. Okay, I know I keep emphasizing it, and I know I keep contradicting with a lot of things that I say, but dude, social media is amazing because like I said, you're scrolling through, you get that relatability, you get that, and you start laughing at the comments because everyone's so funny. But then, and then you leave it, it's so it's very hard to literally have a big enough reason to leave social media. But that's the only issue. So will social media stay? 100% yes. People are not going to leave social media. But that's just my take. Maybe you agree. If you disagree, let me know. But that's just my point of view. But I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I want to be wrong. Because I don't want to just be thinking wrong. I don't want to be thinking wrong. But anyways, that's all I have for this video. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Goodbye.